Hello friends, I am Catherine and today I have brought you in very close because I want to show you the sculpting of a floral pendant. I've made a base which I just rolled into a ball and then laid on my work surface and pressed flat with the palm of my hand and then punched a hole through with the skewer. And I've got a bit of white out. I'm hoping it will look sort of like silhouette-y and fun and stuff. You know, all those scientific terms that you know that I always use. So for this, what I'm going to use for a tool is a toothpick. They're one of my favorite tools. And I'm going to take my ball of white and just ignore the ink on my hands and staining around my fingernails. That's unimportant. That turned out to be a failed project, so we're going to ignore it and hope it goes away. And for this, what we're going to do is just take our white and roll it out into just a really thin snake. Not like heroically thin, but like really thin. Because for this, it's going to be forming both the leaves and the petals of our flower from this single snake. So to do that, we're going to need it pretty darn thin, and you'll see why in just a moment. Just kind of trying to make it even as well, hopefully. Hopefully. Something even and thin, and just really very thin, but also even. Okay, that might do it. Let's see if we can't make it just a little bit thinner. And probably going to call that good. Okay, so now with our toothpick, what we're going to do is take a length that is just that long and cut it off with our toothpick, and then line it up right on the end of our toothpick, if we can get it to stay on. There we go. Line it up with the end of our toothpick and then just press it towards the bottom onto our base, right like that. And actually, we're probably going to want smaller pieces than that. That ends up turning actually quite long. So let's grab a smaller piece and try again. Just kind of trying to tuck it underneath that first one. Yeah, there we go. And another one, and do the same thing. You can probably tell we're going to be doing this a bit, because this is what's making our leaf shapes. It's pretty straightforward. We're using the toothpick to press them onto our base, and it also creates that cupped shape that a leaf has. There we go. Okay. A little bit more. Actually, let's make a flower right around this point. Trying to sort of make all of the petals at least somewhat even. And then just go in a circle right around that point. Go if we can. We'll see how it turns out, but I'm hoping it'll end up well. And we'll do a single row of petals around this one, and then we'll do a second flower with like a double row of petals, I think. Oh, that ended up a little bit thicker at that point. Let's just roll it back out thinner and take another piece off. Ooh, that ended up too long. Okay, pick it up, drop it on. And that gives us a sort of flower right around there. Let's take off a very small piece and roll it into a ball and pop it right in the center, and then press it in with our toothpick and maybe outward a little bit. And that'll give us the center of that flower. And then let's lay down a couple of leaves in this direction. And like that. That should be all right for those, I think. And then some very small ones right, oop, if I don't drop it, right here. So if I can get some just really tiny ones right there. Okay. Maybe one that's slightly larger, just a touch right in the middle. And then let's do maybe another tiny one off the end, down here. And oh, that kind of unrolled itself. That's all right. Another tiny one right down here. And then our double petal row up here. So I'll start right there, I think. And just try and make all of the petals the same size and leave a gap in the middle, because that's what's going to allow us to put in 2 rows of petals. We're going to do the outer row first and then the inner row. Trying to remember to leave a gap in the middle, hopefully, and trying to always turn it in the same direction, because that should, in theory, produce a better looking flower. That way they always overlap each other a little bit in the same direction, hopefully. There we go. Okay, almost done with this row. Last petal on this outer row. Awesome. And then an inner layer of petals. Right inside the outer ones. And trying to position them kind of between the outer ones, but I don't think I'm going to be able to fit as many petals in the inner row, which is absolutely fine. go. I'm just kind of working my way back around again. I'm really liking how this one's turning out, actually, quite honestly. I might try and tuck in a couple more right in the center and see if I can't just use petals for the center. Yeah, there we go. Actually, quite like how that one turned out. Awesome. And then maybe some more little petals coming off this side. See if I can't just tuck them up underneath. I don't know if my snake that I'm pulling from is still on screen. I don't know if anything is still on screen, to be honest. Close enough. Scooch this way just a little bit, I think. Okay. Pull off a little bit more. And just keep on doing this until you feel like there's enough without, hopefully without overwhelming it. Let's scooch another little one right up under there. And right next to that one, hopefully. There we go. Oh, just moving everything around now. Okay. And just taking off a little bit and putting it on the end of my toothpick and laying it down. Just until I'm done. Let me put a couple smaller ones right in the center of those larger ones. Actually, that could be kind of fun. A couple of smaller ones right in the center of the larger ones. Yeah. And I think for these, the smaller you go, the better they look. Like, they look fancier if they're smaller. Right, let's scooch it right up into the middle of that and put it in. Perfect. And then maybe do some upwards around where that hole was left. Oop. That kind of came up, that's okay. This is the easiest thing in the world to do. If you try this, and I absolutely encourage you to try it, I think you will love it. It is so simple and easy and quick. Well, I don't know about quick, but I'm really loving how it's turning out. It looks so like intricate, but it's not a lot of work, which I always really love. Things that look intricate but aren't like wholly difficult. Let's see, let's go off to the side that way a little bit more as well, without rolling it up on its side too badly. We are going to have to stop soon though, because we are going to end up overwhelming the piece shortly. I can see it coming. It's getting a little bit crowded. I'm not quite there yet, so I'm still all right for the moment, but like I said, we will be there shortly. Okay, let's slip that one up there. Okay, and then maybe another one right down over here. And I think that's it. What do you think of that floral and leaf silhouette pendant? It turned out better than I was expecting it to. I haven't tried this before, so I didn't know how well it would turn out, and I actually really like it. If you like it as well, definitely let me know. I am always glad to hear from you. And I put up new videos every day, so I will see you tomorrow. Oh, and remember to subscribe. Bye!